All right, I finally finished it, Tim.
Yeah.
It is not what I thought it was whatsoever.
Not at
Not
all,
even
Kevin.
close.
Just an absolute just roller coaster and a play with our emotions. And Respawn at the end of this, I have come to really appreciate their ability to utilize marketing and smoke and mirror tactics to make us think that we're going to get one thing, deliver us something completely different, and still allow us to enjoy it without like really I found myself constantly questioning it, but every time I questioned what are they doing, I found myself enjoying the story even more
Yep.
because it wasn't anything that I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to get this whole like once we found out that it was going to be this High Republic kind of theme, I was like, "Oh man, we're going to get all this stuff and all the books are going to make sense and everything." And the High Republic, come to find out by the end of it, it was just kind of a theme that they wanted to kind of sprinkle in there to let you know that like, "Hey, this exists and we have this cool planet." But we're still going to really focus on Cal Kestis, his adventures, his story, and the idea of the survivors that are left in the galaxy at this moment in time, and what are they doing to survive. And like that was truly the overarching theme through the entirety of that game, was the constant notion of there are survivors that are just trying to stay alive during this weird time in the galaxy where the Empire is running rampant.
I will say this too, now that I finished the game. Aside from the what I said, I stand by exactly what I said last week. Like, aside from like understanding why the gang is not together at the beginning.
Oh, we're talking about Battlescar?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Battlescar
didn't.
made no sense at all. I don't understand why.
That was
And
it.
I'm going to say it again. They battlefront this thing. They are like, okay, we're gonna try to piggyback off of what the excitement that people have for this video game. Let's get a book out there. We know that these nerdy Star Wars people are gonna want to know everything about this. Let's see if we can capitalize on it a little bit more and squeeze out a few more dollars. That's what it felt like for me. It was of no structure. It made zero sense as to why I needed to get caught up on Marin's love interest before we get to see her again in the video game. Because that by the time we see her in the video game, and when we get to the point where Kestis finds Marin and they start flirting, I literally said I yelled at my screen. I was like, "What's the point of this book?" Because it made no sense. Because they mentioned the spark that Marin and Cal had when they first met. This idea of this force entanglement between two people that like outside of their own knowing, the force is kind of like pulling them together. Okay, that's neat. But then she, at 2.5 years after they first meet, she completely gets the force pulls her in a different direction and then pulls her back to Kess. I don't understand. Like none of that made any sense to me. I could have lived a very, very happy life without ever reading that book.
One fun thing that I've noticed going back and doing the bounties now, which I'm not done with, like I said. But remember I was talking to you about Master Ancesis, Tim?
Yes.
He's actually the only other character besides Yoda that I've found so far that's in the High Republic and the
Mhm.
current era. If you look at that link I said, there's this picture. He's on the council in, I think it's episode 1 or 2. So you'll recognize him immediately when you see his picture. And
Yeah,
he's been
it's
mentioned.
the snake guy.
Yeah, he's been mentioned in the High Republic books and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. When you're on Tanalorr, he's the one whose echoes he keeps talking. If you picked up the echoes, like
Yep.
about them retreating because the Nihil, which they only mentioned the Nihil once, I think you missed a huge opportunity to
Kevin,
showcase the High Republic with that
for
Nihil attack in the sky. I kind of got mad that that's all we got.
that's all you get, and there's one echo of a crashed Nihil ship that's like
Mm-hmm.
in the middle, and it's all rusted out and whatnot. I got so excited when you see the storm for the
Yep.
first time, and I'm just like, is that it? Is that Markion? Is that it? Like, where are we right now? And that was constant. I kept on asking. I was like, where are we in the High Republic at this time when they're on Tanalorr, and then all of a sudden Markion shows up with the storm? Where are we? Is he with Lorna D? Like there were so many things that I wanted to know, and after we finished the game and we were talking about I told my chat, I said the only way that they can fix this, and I'm sure this is what's going to happen now, is that we are going to end up learning the rest about Tanalorr and Kobo material, and all of that stuff is going to be told to us through ancillary material through comic books, through books,
Yeah.
through articles. It's gonna be the stereotypical Star Wars telling method, where it's going to be you're going to have to go out and find all this information, or go to a podcast, or find YouTube videos, because they aren't going to tell you this in a video game.